GitHub just announced that they're moving away from their foundation of Git. Yes, it's a bit clickbaity, but they clickbaited me, so I'm going to clickbait y'all, because we all know GitHub as the Git platform. It's obvious that Git is at the very core. That's the whole point. It's version control as a service for everybody, and it's been a great service to use. That all said, the most successful product GitHub has recently shipped has nothing to do with Git. It has everything to do with the actual developer experience. Obviously, I'm talking about Copilot. Copilot was the first AI tool I actually found myself using all of the time, and it was right before the current huge AI bubble. It seems like GitHub is not only committed to Copilot, but is committed to AI at its core. And today at Github Universe, they very publicly and very loudly announced that their focus is shifting to be all in on AI. So let's take a look at this announcement and how people are feeling about it. So here's the announcement blog post. I'll be sure to link this in the description. And as with all recent announcements of things, they had to copy the Apple weird rounded boxes on a black background calling things out. Most of these are just icons and nonsense. I feel like they really forced this one. Not loving it, but let's dive in. In March, we shared our vision of a new future of software development with Copilot X, where AI infuses every step of the developer lifecycle. Since then, we've been working to scale and mature the underlying technology, and in this process, we've created something even bigger. Our vision has manifested itself into a new reality for the world's developers. Just as GitHub was founded on Git, today we are refounded on Copilot. This big, bold sentence is the thing everyone's upset about, and is also the reason y'all are watching this video, so thank you, GitHub, for the clickbait. Normally, I'm the one writing it, and thankful to have somebody else do it for me. Open source and Git have fundamentally transformed how we build software. It is now evident that AI is ushering in the same sweeping change and at an exponential pace. In just a short period, GitHub Copilot has expanded and evolved GitHub into the world's leading AI-powered developer platform. We are certain this foundational transformation of the GitHub platform and categorically new ways of software development is necessary in a world dependent on software. Every day, the world's developers balance an unsustainable demand to both modernize the legacy code of yesterday and build their digital tomorrow. It is our guiding conviction to make it easier for developers to do all that, from the creative spark to the commit, pull request, code review, and deploy, and to do it all with GitHub Copilot deeply integrated into the developer experience. Let's jump into this new reality. First part is Copilot Chat will be generally available in December. I've never used Copilot Chat. I don't know how good it is. I've heard good things, but yeah, I just use vanilla Copilot still. And even then, if it doesn't complete the code correct, I don't do the thing where it shows you 10 snippets. I just start writing the code, or I'll write a comment so that it is a little bit smarter about the generation. But yeah, happy that they're making Copilot Chat more accessible, but I haven't been convinced on it yet. That said, I talked a lot of shit on Copilot initially and then used it and ended up really liking it. So my stance might change when I start to use it more, but it's not really my thing. Copilot Chat is coming to GitHub and the mobile app. The mobile app having Copilot Chat actually does sound nice. If I can ask on my phone for it to get me more info on a thing or explain like, what is this code? That sounds cool. The next announcement was GitHub Copilot Enterprise. Copilot personalized to your organization. Apparently Copilot's already making devs 55% faster, but devs often only write code 2 hours a day and are bogged down with mundane tasks around the software development lifecycle. Not scaling past the editor, we're now culminating the entirety of our Copilot offerings and personalizing them with the full context of your entire code base with GitHub Copilot Enterprise. So with Copilot Chat, you can get up to speed on your code base. So Copilot Chat is trained on your code base, and now I can learn about the code base by asking it questions instead of asking my coworkers questions. Sounds kind of cool. $40 per user per month is a little bold. Curious to see how that goes. And they have the Copilot Partner Program, where they're creating an ecosystem for new developers and ingenuity to be infused into GitHub Copilot, broadening the expanse of what developers can achieve with AI. They seem to have a demo here. I'm not going to watch it. I'm getting the idea. They're going to use this for the security stuff. That's interesting. I'm sure we've all gotten warnings from random bots telling us our dependencies are out of date. The idea of that actually looking through our source code is annoying, but kind of exciting. But something you might have noticed here as we scroll through this announcement, this is everything GitHub announced at Github Universe. There is nothing about Git in here. They announced nothing around Git. All of the announcements here are around AI. So in that sense, the clickbait is real. It doesn't seem like GitHub is focused on building things around Git right now. None of these features require Git to be valuable. They require your code. And it seems like GitHub's focus is much less on the Git side and the version control side now, and much more on the we have your code side and we can train AI on it side, which is fascinating. This is a very interesting direction change. And I don't have a strong gut feel either way, but others certainly do. This is the announcement tweet where Thomas announced this famous line now. Just as GitHub was founded on Git, we're now refounded on Copilot. This is the tweet where he announced it. And there's a lot of pushback. in the comments and in the replies. And there's also a quote tweet that I saw from Mitchell here. Branding is unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, Copilot is great, but there's still so much more room for improvement on the social coding platform. The homepage is now AI-driven developer platform. I totally agree here. Personally, and yes, they're a sponsor, I'm much more hyped on the direction Graphite is going in. That's why I've been talking about them so much. Graphite is built on top of GitHub, so again, they're using GitHub as a place where all your code lives, but instead they're focused on our experiences contributing, collaborating, creating stack diffs, merging PRs, and all of those parts. And it's a little concerning to me that a third party is doing a better job of iterating on my collaborative developer experience than GitHub is. Because the problems that I've been having are not about how fast I can write code or how fast I can review code. It's about the steps between all of that. The way that we break up our code, the way that we interface with teammates, the way we notify them of changes that need to be reviewed, the way things block each other, the way things merge, the way things deploy. All of this is less about the work being done or even an individual's understanding of it. It's the social dynamics around those decisions. And I don't see enough of that coming from GitHub. The recent overhaul of the UI and the app layer has been nice, but it still has lots of weird states. The GitHub notifications are still an absolute mess. And I know I'm not the only one who command Rs every time we open a page on GitHub because we know it's going to be out of date if the tab's been open for more than 30 seconds. That experience just isn't great. And I don't know if GitHub's ever going to fix that now. It doesn't seem like that's their focus at the moment. We can argue whether or not that should be their focus because clearly other companies are figuring it out now. And also there's a unique land rush right now to grab all of the opportunity in the AI space. But we'll have to see where this goes. This is one of those rare videos where I'm not going to take a hard stance because I don't know where this is going to end up. I don't know what my experience with these tools are going to be like. And they seem genuinely convinced. But I do hope the more collaborative and more productive side of Git and GitHub is focused on by other developers because I think collaboration needs to get better first and foremost. What do you guys think? Do you want to hear more about the issues with Git or do you want to hear more about AI stuff? I'll put a video in the corner where I talk about how much Copilot ended up blowing me away. And if you don't like it, whatever YouTube put underneath is probably going to be more up your alley. Appreciate you all a ton. Thank you guys as always. Peace, nerds.